Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Nur,
My name is Nur.
and together we are Light-Hearted
Dads.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Light-Hearted Dads.
How are you, bro?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I'm sure you know who you are and who I am.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay,
I'm not
no.
gonna do that. We
It's-
decided
it's-
that is it.
All right.
They know who we are, and but if they don't, I'm Nur.
And I'm Nur. We are Light-Hearted Dads. But then again, the intro should have covered that already.
Yeah, it should. Didn't it?
Mashallah. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, so-
Cool. Anyway, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we have this amazing topic that we want to discuss, and it's not one that we've covered before. So, without any further ado, I will pass it over to you to bring it to light.
Okay, this is a really important topic, and I think it touches all of us and our children. And it's triggered from a post that I saw today actually on LinkedIn. So there's a guy who's on LinkedIn, one of my connections, and he was talking about Islamophobia.
Mhm.
And what he mentioned was somebody had left some Islamophobic hate kind of comments on one of his posts. So he had blocked the guy and all of those things, and so the comment remained. And I think he got in touch with his employer, the guy's employer, to say, do you know, you got a staff who's basically Islamophobic and hate speech and so forth. Eventually, he said that the lawyer from that company got in touch with him, saying, "Can you unblock him so I can delete his comment?" And that's it. And he goes, "Is that all you're going to do about it?" And he goes, "What would you want us to do?" And he goes, "Well, firstly, an apology wouldn't go amiss. Rectifying it, then providing some sort of support and training for the staff if you feel that he needs to be educated." Or in other words, is like what you're doing is you're actually allowing and saying it's perfectly fine to make comments as long as you delete afterwards. No, it doesn't come back on you. So then he's talking about what is the company's position regarding Islamophobia and all of those things. And it just triggers a thought in my head. I recalled previously in my previous kind of employments, and even when I was trying to look for new jobs, I would go to interviews. Yeah? Now, alhamdulillah, one of the things I used to get good feedback on is that, I used to do really good interviews.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And even at the end of the interviews, I used to get kind of applauded by them. Like they would just take me aside and say, "I just want to tell you something. That was a really good interview. We're really impressed, with the work that you do and all of this kind of stuff and what you've done as well." Because all of it, I would bring in my also extracurricular activities that we do. So for especially if you're non-Muslims, you're thinking, "Wow, you do a lot of extra stuff." So, but I still never get the job. Yeah. After those kind of comments, I still never get the job. And I know I did well in the interviews and feedback was always good. And endless kind of not getting the jobs. And there were some studies that came afterwards. I think they did some social experiment. I think a journalist or somebody wrote about it where they gave the same CV or a job application. But one of the guys, they gave his name is like Muhammad or something. Another one is like John. Yeah. And then they showed the progress of it exactly the same. But John, every time and time again, always got the job offered. Or always got put forward. But Muhammad wasn't. And we're talking about this Islamophobia that we see in society. But the thing that I really wanted to bring to light was, how do we prepare our children for the real world? Now, our children, alhamdulillah, they're growing up, and they're innocent. And children are innocent. They're growing up thinking the world's great, it's fine, and about fairness. Equal opportunities. And they teach this at school, equality and equal opportunities and not to discriminate. But the moment you leave school, or even they face it at school, but the moment you do leave school and you go into the real big bad world, bang, it smacks them in the face. So it just reminds me of, I know within the black community, that black parents, it comes to a stage where they have to have the black chat. Where they sit down with the child and tell them, "Look, you're black. So if the police ever," and they do this in America, if the police ever pull you over, straight away put your hands up. Make sure it's clear. Don't make any sudden movements. Boom, you might get shot. Yeah? Or you have to realize that you're going to get routinely stopped and searched. And all of those things, it's not fair, but it's life. And they teach them how to survive, because no parent wants their kid to be shot by the police. As in America, even in the UK, same thing about being arrested and all of those kind of things. So the question is like, with Islamophobia being so rampant within society, how, do we go about, when do we go about, do we even go about explaining to our children about Islamophobia and about actually when you're growing up, especially to your daughter, when you're growing up, you want to be, you've got some high ambitions. You want to be the barrister, for example, but you're going to have to be just almost ground her and say, it's great to have this expectation, but be wary of this that you're going to face along the way, especially with our daughters, especially with girls, because of the visible Islam in them, because of the hijab and so forth, that they are much more easily targeted than maybe men, within the community, and also because they're the more, vulnerable within the community, and they're targeted and attacked more. So that's really the topic I want to raise about. Sorry, I've given a very, very big preamble, but it's a really important discussion I think we need to bring to light. So I just wanted to get, what are your thoughts on this? Have you ever thought about this?